Welcome back again. In the previous video I told you I was going to work on the LED implementation on this device on my 737 master control panel build. In the meantime I started having a little problem with my MAX7219 displays. I'm kind of not a fan of these for a number of reasons, but this is what this build includes. I don't like that it's difficult to find these in other colors than red. Probably if you buy quality ones, it's good. These are impossibly cheap on Amazon, like $1 a piece or something like that, or maybe a couple dollars a piece, I forget. But I'm having some issues. And the first thing, in a previous video, I noted that they get less and less bright as you go along, and I was thinking that might be because we're overloading the power supply on the Mega, which could be the case. But what I didn't realize is that there's a diode right here. The only purpose for that diode is if you hook up the power backwards. If you put ground on power and you put power on ground so it's backwards, it sacrifices itself kind of like a fuse to protect the rest of the unit. The problem with this, it's in series with the circuit. So if I put my handy dandy meter and kind of watch the voltage as we go along, I think, let's see if we can see that. On this first one we should indicate about 5 volts. Let's see what we got. Alright, there's 4.17 volts. On the next one, let's see what we got. 3.3. And then on the next one, 2.7. So you can see the voltage that's being supplied is going down on each subsequent. If you wire them this way, if you were to wire the powers in parallel, it wouldn't be an issue. But since I chose to wire it this way, it is an issue. So we can solve this in one of two ways. I could connect from my plane directly to each power and ground, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of the nice, neat chaining that we can do. Or we could remove those diodes and jumper them. I think that's the plan I'm going to go with at this point since I'm already wired. Another issue that I have with these is kind of the poor build quality. Like I said, these are impossibly cheap, and the solder connections, some of them look pretty questionable. Some of them look like they've been repaired by hand. And I find that if I flex this around a little bit, sometimes it doesn't work right. Like this digit should be over here. It doesn't look too bad. You can see it's working pretty well at this point. But when I go to mount this in the case, I get mixed results. I don't know if there's bad solder joints or bad traces in these boards, but once one of them stops working, it kind of affects all of them. Hey, you can see now I got a little glitchy. Oh, it's mostly working. Oh, there it goes. So stuff like that. So I'm going to start by making sure that all of these are powered equally by removing those diodes. Alright, you can see on this first one I've replaced the diode with the jumper wire. On the first one for a little about 4.14 volts. On the second one it's about the same. So I'm going to do that for all of these. Okay, make sure you're unplugged when you do this. Well, they all seem to be working, and I should have my same voltage at the end of the line that I do at the beginning. So at the end of the line I have 3.8. Still seems a little low. At the beginning of the line I have just slightly more than that. That kind of makes sense. It's a lot more consistent over the range. And the lighting looks consistent across. So I think I'll remount those and see if that solves my other problem. Alright, let's see what we got now. It kind of looks like it's working. Everything looks bright. We run Xplane again. Alright, looks like we're back in business. I don't know why this one initializes at 102. I'm going to have to investigate that. But it starts looking right after I turn it. All of these are working and updating appropriately. I should be able to dim it too. Let's see. That's the main panel lighting, so I've got it set up to react to that. It's kind of cool. I'll be back again with my video on hooking up all the lights, the LEDs that are in the switches, and also these external ones. I'm going to use two different methods of doing that, and you can choose to use either of those methods for all or part of the LEDs. That video will be out pretty soon. I'll see you there.